When you think of Alexander the Great, what do you really know about him? Most people know him as the great conqueror and many conquests that stretched from Greece to India. But there are secrets and lesser-known achievements of this legendary figure that go beyond the tales we're familiar with. And that's what we're going to uncover in today's video. Born in 356 BC in Pella, the capital of Macedon, Alexander was destined for greatness. But it was his upbringing that truly set him on the path to becoming the Great. Pella was a city steeped in history and culture. Alexander's father, King Philip II of Macedon, was a visionary ruler who transformed his kingdom into a formidable military power. Young Alexander was surrounded by a rich tapestry of influences, and it was in this environment that his destiny was shaped. But it wasn't just his royal lineage that set him apart. Alexander's education was a key factor in his future success. King Philip, recognizing his son's potential, enlisted several people as his son's personal tutors, which also included the renowned philosopher Aristotle. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander received a comprehensive education that covered subjects ranging from philosophy and literature to mathematics and science. This was a privilege reserved only for the elite, and it gave Alexander a broad knowledge base and a love for learning that would serve him well on his conquests. As a young boy, Alexander displayed remarkable leadership skills and a thirst for adventure. He tamed the wild horse Bucephalus when he was just 13 years old, a feat that even impressed his father, King Philip. These early achievements paved the way for his later successes. It was his education, early experiences, and the legacy of Macedon that prepared him for the triumphs of his reign. As we venture further into the life of Alexander the Great, we arrive at a pivotal moment in history, the beginning of his legendary conquests. At the young age of 20, Alexander already became the king of Macedon after his father was assassinated. But the shoes didn't seem so big for him to fill, and he assumed the throne pretty well. During his early years as king, he showed outstanding leadership and had big plans. While many thought the young king might struggle for power, as often happens after a leadership change, Alexander surprised them. Instead, he focused on growing his father's empire and achieving his own goals. One of Alexander's earliest big wins was at the Battle of Chaeronea, where he showed great skill and strategy and bravery. This win not only made his rule stronger, but also proved he could be a successful military leader. But what really made Alexander stand out was his bold choice to take on the powerful Persian Empire. In 334 BC, he crossed the Hellespont with about 40,000 soldiers, starting a campaign that would change history. The Persian Empire, led by King Darius III, was a tough opponent. It covered a huge area, from what's now Turkey to India, and had a strong military. Against all odds, Alexander led his troops to victory at the Battle of Gracanus. This marked the beginning of a relentless campaign with city conquests, tough supply challenges, and many battles. Alexander's leadership was truly outstanding. He inspired unmatched loyalty in his soldiers, who followed him into the unknown with strong dedication. His relationships with his generals were also key to his successes. People like Hephaestion, Ptolemy, and Parmenion weren't just his commanders, but his closest friends and advisors. In just a few years, Alexander's empire had grown tremendously, covering vast lands with different cultures. But his desire for conquest wasn't satisfied, and his journey was far from done. While Alexander was undoubtedly a fierce warrior, he was also a visionary leader who recognized the importance of fostering cooperation and understanding among diverse cultures. During his conquests, Alexander encouraged the blending of Greek and local cultures. He believed that this cultural fusion was not only a testament to his vision, but also a means to create a more interconnected world. This period, known as the Hellenistic era, witnessed a remarkable exchange of ideas, art, and knowledge. Greek art, philosophy, and architecture began to influence the regions he conquered, leaving an indelible mark on their histories. Perhaps one of the most famous legacies of Alexander's cultural exchange was founding the city of Alexandria in Egypt. This city became a hub of learning and knowledge, home to the famed Library of Alexandria. It was a beacon of learning, attracting scholars, philosophers, and scientists from across the known world. It housed countless scrolls and texts, preserving knowledge from various cultures for generations to come. Alexander's vision went beyond the mere amalgamation of cultures. It fostered a spirit of cooperation among diverse peoples. He encouraged his soldiers to marry local women, promoting unity and understanding. This policy not only helped to quell potential conflicts, but also created bonds that transcended cultural barriers. It was a testament to Alexander's belief in the potential for a more inclusive world. By this point, Alexander had already achieved remarkable success in his campaigns against the Persian Empire, but his ambition knew no bounds. He was determined to push further into the heart of Asia and explore territories that no Greek had ever seen. One of the greatest challenges of Alexander's eastern expedition was crossing the formidable Hindu Kush Mountains. These towering peaks presented a daunting barrier, but Alexander's determination and military genius prevailed. The passage of the Hindu Kush was an incredible feat, and it demonstrated the resolve of Alexander and his army. They endured treacherous terrain and harsh weather to press onward. The ultimate destination of Alexander's eastern journey was India, a land of rich culture and formidable kingdoms. Here he faced fierce resistance from local rulers, most notably King Porus, who commanded a substantial army and a formidable fleet. The Battle of the Hydaspes River stands out as one of Alexander's most challenging encounters. Despite facing a numerically superior opponent, he displayed remarkable tactical brilliance, securing victory. But it wasn't just military conquest that defined Alexander's time in India. He also had a profound cultural exchange with local philosophers and scholars, most notably the famous philosopher Calenus. These encounters expanded his knowledge and enriched his understanding of the diverse world he was conquering. They left a lasting impression on him and influenced his vision for a multicultural society. As Alexander journeyed back west, he continued to solidify his rule and expand his empire. His remarkable campaign had taken him to the very limits of the known world, and his legacy was cemented. His empire stretched from Greece to India, and his accomplishments were awe-inspiring. But the journey wasn't without sacrifices, and Alexander's health began to deteriorate due to the physical and emotional toll of his conquests. By the time Alexander reached his late 20s, he had achieved unprecedented success. His empire spanned from Greece to India, and he was hailed as a living god by some of his subjects. Yet his ambitions knew no bounds. We need to understand that Alexander was not just a conqueror, but a visionary. He dreamt of unifying East and West into a single, interconnected world. He planned to create a new capital, Alexander Eshate, at the edge of his empire, serving as a bridge between his eastern and western subjects. This vision was a testament to his desire for unity and cultural exchange, but it remained unfulfilled as his health began to deteriorate due to years of hardship and injuries sustained in battle. Tragically, Alexander's triumphs were cut short by his untimely death in 323 BC at the age of 32. He succumbed to a mysterious illness, leaving his empire in turmoil and his dreams unfulfilled. After his death, his generals, known as the Diadochi, engaged in power struggles and territorial disputes. The empire was divided among them, marking the start of the Hellenistic period, where each general established their own kingdom. Despite the breakup of his empire, Alexander's legacy endured. The Hellenistic kingdoms that emerged continued to be centers of culture, learning, and innovation. The blending of cultures that Alexander had initiated persisted, influencing art, architecture, philosophy, and science for centuries to come. The Hellenistic period then became a bridge between the ancient world and the future. In many ways, Alexander's dream of a united, interconnected world was a precursor to the globalization we see today, emphasizing the importance of cultural exchange and cooperation among diverse peoples. Scholars and historians continue to study and be inspired by Alexander's life and achievements, seeking to unlock the secrets of his extraordinary journey and the impact it had on the course of history.